Chapter 7: The Dangers of Being Overly Ambitious and How to Avoid Them. While thinking bigger and trying to set the bar higher and higher is an admirable quality, being an overachiever can put a lot of pressure on you. Increased stress will affect both your mental and physical health, which will in turn lead to deteriorated performance and burnout. Consequently, in the last chapter of this book, we will cover some ways you can find the right balance between achievement and recharging. The art of balance. Achieving perfect work life balance is a popular myth that unfortunately applies to nobody. Your professional life will affect your personal life, and your personal life will affect your professional life. However, while it's impossible not to take your job with you after work, there are ways to reduce time spent thinking about work while you are supposed to relax. The first key to recharge more while relaxing is to enter the state of flow. Flow can happen while working on a goal, but you can also get in the zone while relaxing. Various sports, and most notably extreme sports and any other activities with perceived high risk and challenge, are perfect to get your mind off work. The second way to achieve more balance is to spend more time in nature. Studies show that physical activity in a forest or a park helps recover from stress. I recommend spending at least an hour a week alone in a quiet place away from everyone else. If you can't take your mind off work, consider listening to music or taking a book or an e reader with you. Gary Keller, co owner of one of the biggest international real estate franchises, writes in his best selling book, The One Thing: The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results, about three ways people try to achieve balance between work and life. The first approach is living in the middle, paying equal attention to work and life. This approach won't work for people who want to achieve big things because you can't achieve extraordinary results with a balanced approach. Extraordinary happens at the extremes, and if you only pay moderate attention to your work, you won't achieve big things. The second approach is going to the extremes, spending a lot of time at work for long periods of time and then trying to fix the damage done to your personal life by ignoring your work. This approach is just as bad as the first approach. While you can achieve big goals with this attitude, everything else in your life will suffer. In his novel Susan's Diary for Nicholas, James Patterson provides a powerful metaphor that has stuck with me since I read it for the first time in Keller's book. Imagine life is a game in which you are juggling five balls. The balls are called work, family, health, friends, and integrity. And you are keeping all of them in the air. But one day you finally come to understand that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. The other four balls are made of glass. If you drop one of these, it will be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, perhaps even shattered. If these two approaches don't work, then what does? Keller suggests the third approach, counterbalancing. With this approach, you never go long periods of time without paying attention to your personal life. It always gets a similar level of focus. With your work life, you frequently go to extremes, but only for short periods of time, so your personal life won't suffer. This approach requires you to sacrifice the unessential aspects of your work in pursuit of working on the biggest things. This approach is the healthiest attitude. It will guarantee extraordinary results while working on your goals while still paying attention to your personal life. Being ambitious doesn't mean self harm. Going to the extremes with your work doesn't mean working extremely long hours. Many entrepreneurs brag how little sleep they get and how much they work. It's a shame. They often forget they are working on their goals to achieve results, not to show off how well they can function in an exhausted state. Martyrdom sounds cool, but it won't help you achieve your goals. A paper by John Pancavel of Stanford University shows that working for more than 50 hours per week leads to decreased productivity, while working for more than 55 hours doesn't produce any additional results. If you have a 70-hour work week, you essentially waste 15 hours per week. Sleep deprivation is a silent killer of productivity on your well being. A week of sleeping 4 or 5 hours per night is equal to an impairment equivalent to a blood alcohol level of 1%, 4 to 5 glasses of water. 2 weeks of sleeping 4 to 5 hours per night makes the symptoms 2 times worse. Your ability to solve problems dramatically deteriorates. Your reaction time greatly lengthens. Your judgment is clouded. How do you expect to achieve big things in such a horrible state? Martyrdom isn't reserved for entrepreneurs only. You can also be tempted to exhibit this behavior if you are working on other big goals. People who want to transform their bodies think that the more they work out, the stronger and fitter they will be. Yet, you don't get a flat stomach in the gym. You get it in your kitchen by maintaining the proper diet. Exercising 3 times per week for 45 minutes is more than enough to get results. While overtraining is a perfect way to get injured and lose months of progress due to long recovery. People who want to learn new skills spend countless hours practicing and memorizing new things, thinking that it's the studying time that counts. In reality, it's the other way around. Your brain needs sleep to learn, not just more practice. Studies show that a nap of 45 to 60 minutes can boost your memory fivefold. As neuropsychologist Axel Mecklinger from the research team said, even a short nap in the office or a nap at school can improve learning outcomes significantly. Start with the foundation, proper sleep, and enough rest, and only then work on your big goals. Now, the dangers of being overly ambitious and how to avoid them. A quick recap. First, it's essential to learn how to recharge your batteries and get your mind off working on big things. If you don't do it, your performance will deteriorate and you will suffer from negative effects of stress. Moreover, your personal life will suffer. Second, you can't achieve perfect balance between work and your personal life. The proper approach is to never go long periods of time without paying attention to your personal life and going to the extremes with your work life. The reason for that is that achievement happens at the extremes, while your personal life is fragile and dropping it for long periods of time will ruin it. Third and last one, don't be a martyr. Working longer hours doesn't lead to better performance. Sleep deprivation makes you act like a drunk person. Take care of the fundamentals before you start working on your goals, unless you enjoy clouded judgment and impaired ability to solve problems.